The final step in the template editing or customizing process is to convert this After Effects comp into a video that people can watch. And that's a 5-step process. First of all, you adjust what's called the work area. Then you send your comp to the render queue. Then you select an output module, meaning the type of video that you want to make. Then you choose a location and a file name for that file. And then you click on the render button. So let me walk you through all those steps. Alright, here's our project and it's ready to be rendered. But before we go any further, I want to point out one little thing, and that's this blue line here. That's the disk cache that I mentioned in a previous lesson. When you preview something, it's stored on the disk and it's persistent, meaning when you come back to the project later, it'll still be available. So if we preview now, it'll preview at nearly full speed, just so you know what's going on here. Alright, let's start the rendering process, and the first step is to check the work area. The work area is right here between these two little blue bars there. And this is what will be turned into a video, the stuff between these two bars, the things in the work area. And you can adjust the size of the work area. Now we preset the length of the work area so that you wouldn't have to move it, but if you did move it, you need to adjust it now. You can check where the work area should be by going to the end of your computer, just dragging through it and seeing where it fades to black, which is going to be right there. And then your work area bar should go a little bit past that. So I'm going to pull this right there, and that should be sufficient. So that's our work area bar. Next thing we do is add this comp to the render queue. So we want to make sure that the comp is active. It's got a blue border around it, and it will be since we just adjusted the work area bar. So we go up to Composition, Add to Render Queue, right like that. That opens up the render queue down here and puts this guy here at the bottom. Now we have 4 other things here ready to go in case you want to use these presets, but this is the one we're going to work on here. So the next step is to go to the output module here, and to get there you click on this little link. That's a hot link. You click on that, it takes you to a dialog box. And in the dialog box you choose a format. Click on this drop down list. There are many formats here. We're going to choose QuickTime because it's more or less universal here. And now that we've selected QuickTime as the format, we want to choose a format option that operates inside QuickTime. So I click on this hot link over here, and I want to choose a different codec. Codec stands for compression decompression. I'm going to go over here and choose a codec. I'm going to choose Photo-JPEG. That makes a real nice clean video. And click on OK. Now in case you're using an earlier version of After Effects, make sure to check the audio output box. Here in the CC 2014 version of After Effects, the audio output is set to automatic. So now we can click OK. And now I need to choose the output to, that is the name of the file and where it's going to go. So I click on this hot link there, output to. I want to choose a folder and a file name. I'm going to put it in our default location here and change the file name here to something else. I'm going to call it edited template and click save. And nothing will happen until you click on this render button here, the final step. But before we go there, I want to show you one thing. There are these 4 presets here. If you want to choose something other than full HD, which is what this main comp is in, you can choose smaller formats or PAL like this. So you can choose these guys and render them out as well. But we're going to render only this one here. So now we're ready to go. Click on render. And it'll start converting your comp into a video file. It'll take a while. So I'm going to pause the video here and then show you what happens at the end. Alright, done. And on my computer, which is not exactly a powerhouse, but is not any slacker either, it took about a half an hour to render that 23-second video clip. So just be aware of that. It can take a long time to do some of these complex templates. Now a couple of things I want to point out before we go any further here. Look down here, this main comp here, which we just rendered, is no longer available to render again. There's no little checkbox over here. If you want to render this comp again, you need to go back to the composition, go back to the composition menu up here, and again add it to the render queue. And also these 4 things down here do have checkboxes next to them, meaning if you select one of them, you can start doing the same thing by opening it up and choosing the output module and the output to over here. Right now we've set that up for you in advance, but if you want to change it, that's certainly something you can do. So that's the basic process to output these things. Let's take a look at the finished product. I go to my project files folder where I stored it. There it is, the edited template.mov file. I'm going to double click on that to open it up and then play it. Well, now that you know the basics of using Adobe After Effects, you can now start editing templates. But before I close the chapter, I want to let you know that we've created an entire course on how you can make After Effects render fast. And in this course, you'll learn in great detail how to set up your machine, how to avoid render crashes, and how to render with Adobe Media Encoder, and many other tricks on efficient rendering.